hell is that?
Yes, Tito. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another Friday night at the crib. I'm joined by Tito,
Hello, everybody.
George with the new avatar.
Hi, everybody.
Whoops. Once.
We have a whoops in here? Really?
Hey, and we're also joined by Disturbed God
Hello, people.
and Brian.
Yay!
Well,
this.
let's get started then.
And on a lighter note,
Alrighty. Friday night, and we're going to talk a little bit about VXP weekend. Well, first, how's everybody doing, and what are they doing?
I'm dying in VXP targets to get some VXP and then repairing very long amounts of time because of all the armor.
Are you hitting 99s, I assume?
I am switching between 99s and 80s. I'm getting, I think, I'm not 100% sure because I didn't get a chance to test it this time, but I think the 99s are paying out rather well. The 80s are still doing really well too, so I've been kind of going back and forth depending on what I'm ranking.
I finished with a Valiant and a Gamma that I finished the past last raid, and I was hitting 80s. I hit 199, but honestly, between the 18 and the 99, I was getting the same VXP, about 18,000 or close to 19. But the problem is that in the 18, I was finishing with 3-4 coins repair, and in the 99, those two ships couldn't resist the explosive torch, so it was likely 9 coins each time. So I ended doing 80s.
You filthy coiner.
When I could find them, because that was my problem, find 80s. The spam, I don't know if it was broken or what, but till the 1 hour ago, it was impossible to find them.
I'm not seeing anything that should be conducive to the 4 p.m. PST spawn, and I'm pretty sure that they should spawn at 4 p.m. PST.
Yeah, well, there's been a couple of things that have been said. A couple people have been saying that if you are in yellow or orange when the spawn time occurs, it does not spawn. I have, in my sector, it did not spawn, but the 2 sectors on either side of me spawned all, so like everything spawned. So I had no problem finding anything. There are some people that are reporting that they're having to go like 10 sectors out to find targets. I've been finding, I had an easier time finding 80s than anything else. But like I said, both sides of me of the sector I was in was spawned perfectly. I know my sector is almost like I try and keep it in yellow constantly because I'm a lazy bastard and hundreds are easy. So
Oh, a quick
not have something to do with it.
A quick announcement. I forgot to paste the Google Hangouts until now. So anybody that'd like to join us, if you're afraid to, George hasn't bit anybody since season 7, episode 3.
Woo!
So,
George is also looking much better tonight.
Great. Fucking bastard.
So
I'm
feel free to join
surprised
us.
you haven't heard that yet.
I hope they didn't pay much for that picture because, mate,
I paid a lot of money for that picture, man.
Paid a lot of money for that surgery, man.
But as far as what just came up, if you're having on the slide, if you're having a difficult time locating the 80s, what I've been doing is going to, just scanning through sectors and finding one that's completely dead, just the teal is down at the bottom. And then I'll go to the Frostler website, plug in that sector and locate their dubs, and then go and see what's available there. That's where I personally have had the best luck in locating the 80s. The 99s are very easy to find, but the 80s seem to be a little bit more difficult for most.
Because I didn't actually answer. I started my VXP weekend at about noon. I tried to hit a 99, but then I couldn't connect to the battle for 3 times in a row. So Kick just kind of kicked me out. So I don't know what a 99 looks like. And apparently they'll insta-kill the Valiant that they were kind of designed to do well in. And, only half the VXP that you could gain per target is from actually taking damage. You can gain half by dealing damage, but if you deal no damage, then well, that's garbage, and you could just be in an 80. But for the first time, I had done it like 5 times in a row. It wouldn't connect. I couldn't see my fleets, and if I could see them after connecting it, I couldn't drive. And this was with clearing my cache before every single battle, and just making sure everything was all right. So Kix, your game is shit. This is why I don't spend money on your game, because it's shit. So little salty. I've got the salty dogs on, but now it's working all right. But it was working poorly, and the spawn's a problem too. I hadn't seen anything that was that should have spawned recently because my sector's in yellow, so it was difficult to see those. So this is kind of bad, and I saw someone come back with 80 VXP for my triple salty, or so they say. So
maybe they hit the wrong reaver, because it is a little confusing where all the reavers are.
Now that's what I thought too, but they said it was out of a 114. I don't know about that, but crazier things have happened in this game.
Yeah. I mean, if you zombie your fleet and just repair a few %, you'll probably die before you get a shot off, and then 80, I guess, would seem about right.
Right, that's true too. I mean, we don't know. I mean, that's why people always go video. I mean.
Hey, what the holler? However you pronounce that? In Hollywood? Hello.
Hello. What the hell is how you pronounce it in the United States?
Okay.
All right. Who the hell let him in?
I don't know.
Damn.
I'm just taking up space so it looks like you guys are busy.
Very good.
Ouch.
I don't know if what?
The pity popularity spot.
That's exactly why I have that pick tonight, because that pick is wait what? That's the wait.
Okay. Anybody that just joined us have anything to say about the VXP weekend? I guess not. Or anybody else? Brian, do you have anything else to say?
I guess I should say it because I kind of have to leave in about 20 minutes, so I want to get this out of the way now. We've had it kind of more confirmed than we've ever had it in a while about Conqueror holes kind of being banned from PvE targets. Like if you have a Vendetta, you won't be able to enter it in an FM fleet because it's not a Conqueror target, that being a player base or an opposing player's fleet.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hello. If they are 100% on doing that, they need to start telling people now so they can adjust. And I like the idea. It feels a little sad, but now they will actually they won't have any reason to continue to give us the bad Conqueror armors that we've been having, because I feel like their poor designed Conqueror armors have been because we could take our targets into PvE, and because of that, they're like, oh, well, you still have a use outside of that, and now that that's gone, they can make armors with lower repair efficiency and ones that we'll want to use, instead of just making them worse armors that are specific things should be stronger. Go ahead, George.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know exactly what they're planning. I know the code is in for blocking it in certain things. I don't know how much more confirmed it was than before. I know that it was blatantly stated recently rather than hinted at. I don't know what the deal is with that yet, but here's the catch. I think the thing that they don't want is for people to take advantage of the repair modifiers and just the unbalanced repair of Conqueror hulls and stuff like the FM. When we're doing FMs for 19 minutes of damage using a Conqueror tank, it's not exactly what they intended. So I don't know if they're just going to block stuff like that, because I don't know that they can block all of them, because how are you going to rank it? We don't know officially what's going on yet. I know that they've been looking at it for a while. On it, the last I heard, that could have changed. That could have changed yesterday in the town hall. I don't know.
What are they calling these? Oh, they're still called assault and such. Even the VXP targets have their normal type.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I don't know. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. They might just limit it right now to, blocking the FM so that, I mean, and look, man, everyone's complaining about it on the forums, but 2 months of warning. Y'all have had 2 months of warning. I myself personally have made, I don't know how many videos. I have made so many damn 109 videos in the last 2 months, and I went through the progression going from Vendettas to Citadels, and then from a Punisher tank to a Tideseeker tank. I mean, I have a Tideseeker tank that does it with an H-sit fleet, a Citadels, for 39 minutes damage, and the damn Tideseeker is only half ranked. So,
Yeah, well, part of the problem is they're not officially communicating this.
Right, because they haven't decided yet. That's the thing. And what are you going to do? You're going to come out and go, hey, we're thinking about this, and then when it doesn't happen, people are pissed that they built their Citadels. If it does happen, people are pissed because they're like, well, I was using my Vendettas just fine. They're not going to win no matter what the hell they do. They're fucked either way.
Yeah.
So, people have had their...
It's true. The communication in the game right now is keyed toward players like us that are consistently on pages and on shows. And I mean, I've got guys in my alliance that don't ever go to the forums. They get their information from other people in the alliance.
Yep.
And
yeah, they
I
really
pass
need,
it on. Go ahead, Brian.
They really need to, like, if you log into the game right now, you'll see, well, I see, please provide your feedback in the Battle Pirates survey. Haha, no. VXP Weekend has begun. Like, it's right above the game screen. They need to put it there. They need to put it in a little info pill on the side, right next to the FM and R&D and things like that. And on the forums, they need to put it basically everywhere they can. If they do plan on doing something like this, it's not 100% confirmed as far as I'm aware.
Well, the way that my understanding is this: if they decide to do it, they are going to give some forewarning. Okay.
And they bet.
That was the last that I had heard.
It's not enough to give a warning. You have to give time to the people.
That's
because
true. I mean, that's partly true, but they've also been that's true. But they've also been, given those Citadel offers too. I mean, $10 for a Citadel. If you don't have the blueprint, you get the blueprint of the Citadel and all that crap that comes with it. The blueprints for all of that. That wasn't just a happy coincidence that happened. Twice now since inside the last 2 months that it's been kind of been hinted at, Hopefully people
pay
attention. I mean, I know people.
If they have to do it, they have to say no. Not wait till the last moment. I think.
That what?
That if they are going to do it, they have to say it loud. Not wait till the last moment and give clear hints. Not just.
Well, Tito, how much time? How much time do you think they should give?
Well,
let's say they decide on Monday, okay? Let's say they decide on Monday, hey, we're going to change this shit. How much time do you want for notice? Because I'm going to tell you right now,
I think
all you really need is a couple of Citadels and a Tideseeker, or a Tideseeker and an H Citadel by itself, and you can do this crap.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Like
6
you build
weeks.
them the same I did, and you know that at least you have 45 days there.
Well, it's just like the one instead of the uranium that's coming out after the raid in December. They're telling you now, and then they're giving you both targets side by side
for a month, right?
So we prepare.
We essentially have 2 months there. And the last time they did something like this, what when they brought out the 109, how long did we have for the 109?
Oh, 3 months or better.
How long did we have when it went to the 107? I'll tell you, in both instances of that, I was ready inside of a week. I was actually ready for the 109 the day it came out.
But if you watch the shows and you're on the pages, I mean, it's like this show. Right now we got 20 people watching. And out of how many players in the game, I'd pound on my guys to listen to the shows and to watch, the forums and to watch the pages. But getting the players the information is tough in this game. It's so complicated for a lot of them.
And again, that's why I think they should post it everywhere, just everywhere they can. Just make sure nobody can miss it unless they're intentionally not reading. Like on the forums, the top bar, this and that. I'd probably say not, because it's what, 3-4 weeks until the end of the December raid. So a month after that. So 2 months. A lot of people, I'm sure, that are caught up or doing well would be able to be ready in 1 month. But giving for people that just aren't paying attention, I like that idea better. Hopefully less tears.
I mean, I don't know. I'm more curious to know what, because me personally, I would think a month is enough time.
Well, I think it depends on the timing of the month, because you want to give people a chance to build it and then rank it.
Yeah.
So that's because, you know, you throw citadels in that aren't ranked, it's not the same magic that we get on a 109 if they're not ranked.
It's not the same magic, but you have 3 days to complete it. I mean, I'm not telling everyone that, you know, you can watch my video and do, you know, 5 of them in a row with one Tide Seeker because, you know, of that one. I'm saying that this is a viable thing to look at and adjust it to what you got. You know, I don't expect.
You know, Stoneclad Ironclad had a good point in comms or in YouTube chat. He says they're waiting on backlash from us, and I've noticed with kicks that, you know, you get more results after people don't read the forums. They act like they didn't know what was happening, and then you have this huge uproar, and they
sometimes, I mean,
spending that time, if that makes sense.
I don't know. I mean, I'm personally, I think 4 weeks would be tops.
I think 2 months, because you have to.
Yeah, you have to give them
like
2 months.
Zoe's Apollo. That's 28 days. If they're halfway through it, that's going to take up 2 weeks of that 4 weeks to build a citadel.
That's why
the 2 months is what they should do.
I mean, I
thought build 2 citadels and that Punisher to tank, or that Tie Seeker to tank for them. That at least is 30 days. If they get access to the tier 4 and 5 tokens, it can be a lot less. But if they are building that fleet because they want to do the Forsaken mission, they are not hitting tier 5 at the moment, let's suppose. So 1 month, I think, is too short, to be honest. But the first thing is that they should say, hey, we are going to do this, and this is going to happen on January or after, when we change for example, the Draconian Armadas to the River Armadas. We are going to change that, and we are going to ban Conquerors from hitting PV targets. So people has time to do something, or to focus on something. But this way, but you're not going to build a fleet with two Citadels and 1 Tie Seeker unless they tell you that you need to build that, or a Punisher, unless they tell you that you are going to need that, because I guess that everybody has a shipyard that since day one has never stopped building things.
Well, I'm looking at the Tide Seeker and the Citadel that I use, right? And it's a total of, if you want to do 1 and 1, it's 28 days. It's not going to get you, you know, you're not going to be able to do your FM inside of, 15 minutes like I do, but you'll get it done inside of 3 days.
I think the
it's not the same, because I can tell you, I built the Citadels without ranking, and I put them in 109, and those tanks were dying in a moment because the reload is not the same.
Dude, my Tide Seeker, in all the videos that I've made, the Tide Seeker is at like friggin' 49 or 51%. It's not even ranked. It's halfway there only.
No. For me, the problem is not the Tie Seeker in the front, because if you put enough countermeasures, that you don't need that much rank to stop those mortars. The problem is that what you have behind, if your Citadels are not killing those turrets enough fast, you're going to die. If not, try to build 2 new Citadels and do that with your current tank, and you will see.
A single star Salty Dog, and you put this thing behind any of your auto-wing cargo fleets, you will rank it just fine while you're playing your game. You can get it high enough where it'll actually be able to pull off your FM inside of 3 days. That's the thing that's kind of just getting me, is everyone expects to be able to do their FM inside of like an hour. The reason why I can do what I do is because I've built specifically towards it. I've spent the last month just breaking down that 109 and doing different stuff to give people options. Okay, it's sucked up my time from any of my Conqueror crap, but I can do it because it's at the peak. You know what I mean? I don't expect everyone to be able to go, okay, I can do 3 or 4 109s in a row because he did. No, I want them to see what they have available and go, okay, well, I can use this and I can do this, I can do this. And you know what? It might take me, 2 or 3 days to hit tier 5, but I can do it now.
I think the best way, if they want to transfer inside of 1 month, what they need to do is have a TLC, or one of the principal prizes is a Citadel VXP package that's part of a TLC. And then they can really... Well, if you give them a month and then, yeah, maybe some build tokens mixed in. But I think that combination, give them a month and then give them VXP tokens and maybe a few build tokens. Because in the store, there's a lot of Citadel VXP tokens, even though
you're saying do what they did with the Tideseeker, because that was fantastic. I mean, they practically gave away the hull.
Remember that you build your Tideseeker using your tokens. So, because I think it's more than 1 month, but
dude,
I think that you build the same.
My Tideseeker is 16 days, 15 hours, and the Citadel is.
But you built it with using your tokens, right?
Right.
And you
but
built
I'm saying if you're
towards the Forsaken mission, and others maybe build them towards the raid. So I think it's more than 1 month. But well, if you give them 1 month and it ends by the time of the next raid, to say something, so they have then the week after to get the VSP and rank those, then they have time to finish that Forsaken mission. But if you don't give them that way, they are not going to do it. Especially if they have, because they already have a fleet that is doing the Forsaken mission. So why are they going to build a second fleet to do the same?
Because
that's my point.
2 months now. That's why.
I'd probably
you don't have months, George, because nobody has said officially we are going to do this. This is something we may do this. Well, they said that we were going to have draconian bases, and that coming soon lasted 2 years. So we know how they can do things, and that coming soon can be tomorrow or can be 2 years after.
Yeah, they said that the FM was going to change, and it changed inside of 3 weeks. I mean,
if I were Kicks, I would give a month, like a full month, and then instead of putting it in a TLC, because the FM is so critical to the game, FM first, FM first, FM first. I would give not make a TLC, just give people like 2 7-day garrison hull build. Yeah, just for the whole class, the whole garrison class, and just give them maybe like a tier 1 or tier 2 garrison hull from the foundry, and like a siege mortar from the Drac bits, because the Chaos mortar is bad because it doesn't really have a lot of explosive damage, and the Pandemonium mortar is a bit too good to just give away to everyone. Just the basic building blocks.
They could give the lower version of the Pan Mort, which was the can't remember the name of it.
Searing Barrage.
Yeah. Searing Barrage mortar, that's it. That's a decent mortar to run, and it's not top of the line. But put it on, say, some Nova Storms, you can at least do the mid-level campaign or targets.
Yeah, I mean, I know people that are doing 109s with Nova Storms.
Yeah, but the thing is most of the people who aren't going to be prepared for this aren't going to have the skill to do that.
Yeah, because my buddy that's right next to me, he's been using Nova Storms, and I'm finally convinced him to use Citadels just because I told him, well, you might as well build them if you got downtime, because eventually we're going to have a garrison raid cycle, and if you got downtime, go ahead and build them. Right. It's not our next one, but it's the one afterwards. But if you're not somebody that's building a lot of Conqueror hulls, you have some downtime the way things have been going recently. But should we move on to the next slide? I don't even remember what it is at this point.
I just want to actually point out that actually somebody in chat that actually has some I guess some experience with this. TSM mentioned, what's up TSM, that Citadels need to be approximately 60% ranked. So if they actually did a TLC like they did with the Tideseeker and did the exact same thing, people would be golden. They wouldn't even have to go through all 3 things. They could do, one of the mortars in the first one, a simple one in the first one, a better one in the second one, and then do like judgments or something in the third one that would take, that would be hard. But Mark, thank you very much for that. That was good timing. Sorry I missed it earlier, but anyway. All right, so now that we're on that whole tangent that Brian just did, thanks, Brian.
You are welcome.
Next, or actually, Jeff, are you gonna explain the whole Thundar's page and all that stuff? Did you? I forget now.
Well, FM, mute yourself.
Did he mute himself? Oh well.
I will tell you what,
There he
Thunder is awesome for what he does, and
Yes.
doesn't ask for anything in return. He does a great job, even if he is a freaking gimp.
Yeah, but basically all I was trying to show is that people have been having a difficult time finding 80s. I think I've ran through this before, but if you just, in your world, just go down from right to left, left to right, whatever, and find a sector where it's all the way at the bottom of teal, and figure out what sector that is, because it's going to be dead as hell, and just plug that, go to the frostler.com/BP, and then on the right-hand side, there's going to be the relay tower and DRAC base calculator. Plug in whatever sector this is. I put in 100, and then you can just copy and paste that in your Alliance chat, and you'll find it. And over 50% of the time, I'm finding 80s whenever I do that, and bookmark them, and that way you just can go back to them later. That's all I got to say on that one. So let's go to the next one. This is just a review, so everybody remembers that. I think we've already run over this a couple of times, that the world map targets are changing as it deals with our uranium targets, which were previously DRAC targets. Now they're going to be tuned Reaver Armada targets, which are going to be like what we saw last week, not the current ones. And they're going to coexist with the Draconian Armadas for 1 month when you want to get your uranium. I don't have any problem with this. I'm ready for it because I've been continuing to do the raids. Anybody got any?
We don't know what the targets are actually going to be. I don't think they're going to have the death explosions, which I'm glad.
Yeah.
Well,
said
they
that.
specify. Well, if you can believe Doom Roaster.
Stop, Jeff. Stop. Come on.
No.
So,
He specified.
anyway,
He specified. You said we don't know what they're going to be. He specified what they were going to be. They're going to be the Reaver targets we saw in the last raid that have been detuned to be non-raid targets.
They're going to be tuned versions. That doesn't mean they're going to be the exact same targets. That's the catch. So we don't know exactly what they're going to be. We do know that they're not going to have the death explosions, which is what I was going to say. I'm glad they said that because I was going to put on cryo battery again on certain stuff to get rid of those fire fields after they died. I am glad I did not have to do that.
I'm thinking that it's going to be in our favor. Like it's going to be the last raid, but the damage is going to be turned down because instead of hitting these targets for specific raid prizes and this and that, high stakes reward, there's something we're supposed to be hitting day in, day out. The damage is going to be lowered. Hopefully plasma gets taken out. Oh, time. I got to get out of here. That was fun. Thanks, guys. I will see you around. Sorry for taking up all the time with the Garrison. What's it?
Thanks for coming in, man. That was great.
Later, Brian.
But I guess later, I guess what he was saying is that the damage is going to be highly on the mega holes right now, those 91s, and the ones we are hitting when we are doing those TLCs, that the damage is quite different. That's what I think was his point. When we were talking about tuned versions of those, so the damage is going to be mitigated some way.
The damage is going to be mitigated. I mean, I'm just glad that I know some of the stuff is being changed and what's not going to be in there, because there were tricks and there were some build tricks that I was going to use because I want to auto them. I mean, I'll be honest. I want to be a lazy fucking bastard. And
But you're talking about the other explosions, and last raid didn't have the other explosions that I remember.
I understand that, but the armadas that are currently on the map do, and they're combining all this is combined into one target.
If it says here, Rear Armada targets will be tuned versions of the targets we encountered in the last raid, and this was done this week, we are guessing that was the
You're guessing.
October
That's
and,
what I'm saying. You're
November.
guessing. You don't know. Nobody knows. That's why I'm
What
saying
I do
I'm glad
find-
that they did say something with specificity so I could plan ahead a little bit. That's all I said.
Little hint that I see there says targets will pay out both uranium and blueprint fragments.
Yes, they're
The
combining.
uranium targets have not paid out blueprint targets before.
It's not
fragment.
going to be blueprints. It's going to be
Well, they are going to likely they are going to merge the actual shore that people is using for the foundry
the foundry. That's it.
with
Yeah.
with the one that gives uranium. Something that we asked in the past, for example, when they introduced the assault ones that just were giving you fragments for the assault ships, but they were giving you nothing else. And well, they listen. They are doing it now.
Okay. Anything else we got on this one?
Nope.
Alrighty.
Next.
Alrighty. Last on Wednesday's show, I went through sort of a general build of if you saw the spinning, we're not going to go through this build again because this build's just sort of a general idea as far as trying not to be able to fall prey to a single Conqueror hull. So this really isn't what we're talking about here. If you want to get the details of this, it's you can go back to the last show. But more what we're talking about is if you're using these 4 specials or an approximation of these 4 specials, what do you use as the 5th special? And then if you also saw the now called the radiation plate spinning as well, we're also going to talk a little bit about that. There's 2 basic choices that most people have been going with, either the reciprocating or the resonance battery or the resonance reciprocator. And if you look through the stats, you'll see that there's the battery on the left-hand side is only 9% weight. Bonus all damage is 20%. This radioactive damage thing on both sides is supposed to be a graphical error. So as far as I know, so they don't stack. But the resonance battery has a 50% stacking bonus. If you look at the reciprocator, a little over twice the weight. The 14% more damage, almost twice. But the stacking tactical bonus is 8 versus 50. And I did a little further looking into the data mining, and realized that the stacking technical bonus for the reciprocator is not 8%, but it's 7.5%. And the way we're calculating the stacks is no stacks is, well, the other thing that everybody should know is if your ship has a friendly aura that will what's the word that we use? Activate one of these 2 specials. That a lot of them will self-activate, or another ship does it, and that's no stacks. So it takes 2 ships to get a single stack. And so what we're looking at is, at what point does the capacitor with the higher overall bonus damage but the lower stacking bonus fall down to the one with the lower original bonus damage but the higher stacking bonus occur? As we see, at 3 ships involved, which means 2 stacks, they're about even. It's 140 versus 141. But at that point, the battery, which is less than half the weight, really takes over. And if you got 5 ships involved, you got a 13% difference between the 2. And we've seen some conflicting things as far as what's been on the forum and whatnot. You can chime in when you feel like, George, as far as the sources of information and things of that nature, as far as why we're calculating it this way as opposed to whatever you want to say regarding this as far as diminishing returns and things like that. But
I'm not explaining all that. I'll explain where the calculation came from. An article that I was writing, and there was a lot of contradictory and conflicting information floating around. And I got a chance to actually sit down and chat with Raken to try and find out how the mechanic actually worked. And what he did was I had a formula that I'd gotten from Doom, even though Jeff is going to hit me for that. But yes, I got it from Doom Rooster, and I was using that for my article, and I was having some issues with some of the numbers I was coming up with. So I ran through a couple of scenarios, got a hold of Raken, and we went through it. And then he actually went the extra mile for me and sent it up to, I don't remember who it was, but it was a developer that actually did the code for this part of the game. And
it was a server engineer.
Is that what they call them? Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah. And we went through the whole thing, and I got all the numbers done for the article. So I have 2 articles, which I'm probably going to rewrite into one in the next week or so about res cap and res battery and everything. But that's the numbers we have here. The numbers that Jeff got was using the formula that we were given, and
that's not really how it happened. I came up with it, and then I did some research, and I found what Scarlett said, which I found to be against what you said and Raken said. So that's why we talk so much about it. But this is the way I thought it worked. And then I looked on the forums, and I saw a post by Scarlett that said diminishing returns and whatnot. And anybody that knows anything, this isn't diminishing returns. It's 10% on the battery every time and 3% on the capacitor every time. So that's not
a math geek or a coder will know what diminishing returns really means. What a lot of people actually use for the term diminishing returns is anything that's multiplicative in nature for gains. That's where the disconnect happened.
Yeah.
So the formula that is used here is accurate. These are the accurate numbers. The one thing that people can't seem to grasp, and I think Jeff was trying to explain this to somebody the other day, was that the activating field does not equal a stack. It actually is the activating field, so you get the bonuses first. The second field is your stack 1.
Yeah, 4 stacks is 5 ships. 3 stacks is 4 ships with auras covering over whatever the target ship is that has one of these 2 specials on it. So
hopefully that's clear, because this actually is a confusing topic. And hell, if I don't look at it for a while and I have to go back, I actually have to sit through and figure the whole thing out in my head again when I do the math, because it's not one of their more transparent mechanics.
Yeah, and also I've only highlighted the components of each one of these specials that deal with base defense. And that's all we're really dealing with here is the bonus all damage on both sides and the stacking tactical bonus. So let's go on to the next one. Ship, like we already said, ships can self-activate. How do you implement this? We got the Vanquisher, the Valiant, the Retribution. The range of all of their fields that will activate one of these resonance specials, they're all 45. The Vendetta is 85. So the strategy on how you do this isn't really all that tricky in my mind. The battery would be good for something that you can get 3 stacks or 2 to 3 stacks involved, so 3 to 4 ships involved. So maybe you put the battery on one of the 45s, and then you put the capacitor on the 85, which can reach over and be overarching and light up one of these 45 ships an additional time But most likely the way you're going to use it, because of the remote targeting and everything else, is not going to be lit up by these other ships. It might be down to one stack, maybe there's two Vendettas and they're both covering each other. So you're better off with your Vendetta going with the capacitor, while these ships that might be gathered together. I'm still not saying that's a good idea, because the closer they get together, the more you're could possibly be a victim of pinches or splash or whatever else may be down the road for us.
Yeah. I don't know that I would. This is one of those things that I don't know that I would go out of my way to try and do this, but it's something that you can keep in the back of your head that you can take advantage of if your setup can dictate some use out of it. Now, the other thing is there was a little hint. I don't know if I can't remember if it was the forums or if Laredo had said it in chat somewhere, but there was a little hint that there would be a cold snap ship-based weapon coming. You have to take that into account when using these specials, because if the aura is negated, the special stops working.
Okay. Yeah, it's always a possibility. But what is everybody using as a fifth special on your Valiant? I mean, unless you're going with a ballistic build, ballistic builds will fill it up. But if you're going with the Calamity build, I mean, that fifth special is, I don't know. So somebody in chat knows, like, well, Hollywood said agility 4 inside the chat, but I consider that the fourth special. I don't see that as.
I might have put Cryo on it. I'm not sure. I'm trying to get into the game to find out what the hell I put on.
Yeah, I originally put Cryo on, but I wasn't sure. Like, I'm gonna go back to the original one. I mean, I put GS3 because I didn't have any more agility 4. And then we, Hunter Special.
Hey, hold on. I have agility 4, the res cap, strike warheads, emissions generator, and then the compressed corrosive canisters.
Yeah.
So that's 5.
Yeah, but if you were going to take off the resonance, what would you put on?
If I took the resonance off?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You're saying it's not that special and not to plan around it, but what I'm saying is...
No, but see, on the Valiant self-activates.
Yeah, I know.
So, I'm not putting it on to get activated by anything else but the Valiant. It gets the bonuses from that special by itself. You know what I mean? It's going to get the bonus all damage by itself. It's going to get the... what else is on that one? No, it's just the bonus all damage I wanted so I could push the scattergun up. That's what it was.
Yeah, TSM's going evade upgrade, which makes sense.
Yep.
I mean, but
evade upgrade.
But once you got your evade up to... Cryo is my original one, but...
There's a couple of options that you can put on, though.
Yeah, but the Cryo, what's... Against most Conqueror hulls, what is it, -15 combat speed that would actually matter?
Well, here's the catch with Cryo. That actually will also activate one of these. So, it depends on what you want. I mean, I know a lot of people are starting to run that, the res cap and some of the stuff that they're doing. So I pulled my Cryo off of most of my defense stuff.
Okay, but you were just suggesting it. You're being difficult, aren't you?
You asked what could be put on. I'm telling you, it could be put on. I wouldn't put it on. I didn't put it on mine. I put emissions generator on. I mean, I put res cap on mine.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah,
it really depends on your base design, everybody, and how willing, how close you want to get some of these ships together. So I'm just leave it at that.
If they self-activate and you just want a bonus, 36% bonus damage is pretty damn good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, but I'm just saying, if you're going a whole hog on this thing, and you go from instead of 36, if you can get all the way up to 60 with the, you're probably safer going with the capacitor, especially if you don't have any weight issues, because again, the battery is half the weight of the capacitor, and it really
Well,
depends on your design.
What's the battery going to do on the Valiant?
Well, you've been following the show. The battery is 9% weight.
Right.
No, okay, 9% weight, bonus 20%, and if depends on the number of stacks. Once you get to
we're talking about self-activating though. If it's self-activating, I don't want the 20%. I want 36%.
Yeah, in case there's nothing else around. But if you look at it, if you have it near a Retribution or and Vendetta's floating out there somewhere, you're going to get a couple more activations. It really depends on. We're just throwing the tools out there for people to use.
Right.
Is all I'm saying. And this is we're not telling you how to do it, but this is just the tools these are the range.
Listen, I'm going to totally go out on a limb and say absolutely how to do it, or rather, how not to do it. Do not set up your entire base defense around this stuff. This is just a good thing if it happens to fit. Like, honest to God, like the Valiant, I would consider a standalone thing. If it happens to be next to something like, a Mastodon that you're using to launch off a ton of missiles, throw something on the Mastodon, take advantage of it, sure. But don't build around this. That's what I'm saying.
No. That's what I'm agreeing. That's why we're just putting the tools out there. But I'm just throwing out, and also the ECM is 120, and that can activate.
Yes.
Yep. But at that point, you're sacrificing a ship, and I wouldn't do that. You're sacrificing a ship just to get that stack.
Right.
So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go that far into it. The other thing that we were talking about was the other thing that was spinning on that design used to be called the shockwave plate, but now it's called the radioactive plate. And this is interesting on how you deal with it. And we don't know the absolute numbers unless you figured something out recently, George. Whoops, damn it, I reversed the numbers. Uh-oh.
What'd you do?
Radio Play 1 is 5,000. These first fours are supposed to be flipped. I don't have time.
At my girl instead. See, shouldn't have been looking at my girl.
Well, I put her up there.
Yeah, he was distracted.
Yeah, I flipped the numbers. Nobody pointed that out to me until I figured it out now.
I was distracted by my girl, man. I mean,
She wasn't on the first run through. All right. I'm not sure how to explain this. I mean, this is going to be
well, look,
painful to explain, but basically reverse everything.
Yeah. Do you want to just at least cover the basic part of this first? Because it's the shockwave plates worked against regular radioactive damage for the longest time. There was, I'm pretty sure Ren did a video back in like July or something that he actually said it. I mean, flat out stated that that's what was happening. I don't know if anyone actually had tested it after him to make sure, but they did, in fact, find out he was right. So what's going on now is that they didn't really change the coding or the special or anything. What they did was they changed the wording to reflect what was really going on. Right? Is that a good way of saying it?
Yeah. They made the blueprint reflect the reality.
Yes. That's it right there. What he just said.
But what I did and what I screwed up, so we should probably move past this, is basically they all have the same pass-through. And I just take these numbers, the 5,000 should be where the 2,000 is, and just flip it upside down. I showed it to a bunch of people.
He'll fix it and post it up later.
Yeah. But basically the issue is if you use lower level radioactive plates, they all have the same pass through, but they all have but the higher the number, the more deflection they have. And it ranges for 26 to 65 pass through. And the 65 pass through is supposed to be on radio plate 1, 26 on radio plate 4. But then you actually look at the hull itself. This is all data mining stuff, and I'm the one that screwed this up, not them. But as opposed to having 2,000 deflection and 1,300 pass through, which happens on radio plate 1, the Valiant itself has 2,000 deflection and only 2 pass-through. So you're dealing with 65% pass-through versus 0.1%. So it's fairly significant, and I don't know that we know how they all work together, especially since I screwed up that little table. So, but it's just an interesting point of fact for, you know, for folks that pay attention to that kind of stuff. And I can't believe all these people saw this and didn't see it.
The only version I saw was with her, and honestly, I was like, oh, I looked at the pass-through and the percentages, and I just kind of assumed that you can screw up
you
the
put all the
deflection
distractions, and then he wants us to get to the code.
Yeah. I don't know. You know. All right, I'm gonna move on from that one since that one was all screwed up. I didn't screw up this one. Brian showed it.
You didn't add my
Yeah, because you're. I don't think you're a little.
reciprocator.
I don't think chasing the reciprocator actually makes that much sense, especially with the sealed fire charge involved and how much that changes things. I didn't look into that, and this is just I mainly put this up just for people that didn't see the Wednesday show and sees all the stuff in chat where people are like, oh, well, it's got better damage, but the reload's different and people aren't figuring it out. I mean, basically, it has to do with critical, if you don't have sealed fire charge, the mayhem is better. But once you involve the sealed fire charge, which adds another magnitude of damage onto critical hits, and the fire twister does more critical hit damage, you see these two, who's best switches. But at the end of the day, that splash, once we figure out what the actual numbers are, may overrule all that.
Well, we did find out that the mayhem is a little bit slower in terms of projectile speed than the twister.
Yeah, from the radar, but we don't know how much slower and whatnot.
We don't. No.
Yeah. How did he find it? Is he dynamicing himself?
I don't know, but considering that you have those other, this is what we were talking about earlier. Since you had the numbers from the last one, how come you didn't get the numbers for this one?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
No, me or him?
You.
No. How did it get? Well, because they haven't been posted. I don't actually touch any of that. I just read websites.
How did you get the pass through? How did you get the pass through on the last slide?
Dark Alliance. I don't do any of this stuff.
Okay,
I just read websites.
Why didn't you do some research on this one and find out?
Because it's not
find
available.
out what the projectile speed is.
It's not available yet.
Why not?
Because nobody can win it yet.
I don't get to work, man. What the hell are you doing?
Whatever.
Yeah.
I do way more than I get paid for, motherfucker.
Me too. What's your point?
Whatever. Well, everybody, since Thanksgiving's coming up, everybody remembers Mom getting turkey out of the oven. The best thing that we saw this week was the 29 days minimum tokens, before the next raid that you can use for ship builds.
Unless you're TSM and you're going to hit all those 3 damn extra days in the back end, bastard.
I don't know. I'm not sure she's up for that.
I see him in chat. He knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah, we all know, because that's the first stuff he does. He shows us his base, and he shows us how many of those 3 days tokens he can
He's
have.
gotten like 3 of them in the last month or something. Like
I keep saying he's going to open the amount you can have, so just for him, so he can hold them all.
Yeah.
So, so it's me and George's house. There's Mom. She's gotten out the turkey, and then there's our sister eating the turkey wing. The problem was the erratic spawning locations for the high-end VXP targets. I found that to be the only real screw-up, that people have been having a hard time finding them.
Yeah. Yeah, I do actually. You jumped early. I actually wanted to give props to Kicks, because shit, that's a lot of damn tokens. And usually when we have a 4-week gap, they throw in all sorts of extra, prizes, so we don't have 29 days. I mean, that's essentially what a day short of a month. You have a free month build right there. So all you guys that were complaining about, the citadels and all that other shit, there it is, man. There it is. 29 fucking days of tokens.
But it's what I told you before, George. If you are getting tier 5, you get 29 plus 35 days from one raid to the next one. That's what we are having. But if you don't get tier 5, you're not getting this 29.
Okay, so if we were caught up on
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14.
You get seven sets of 7 of the 2 days tokens.
You have 16 days. You have 16 days. Because this first week we got a
19 days actually. No. That's what I count.
No, it's 2 days. It comes in 2 days first. So you can't get 19. You can't get an odd
number. On the first one, you got that bullhead.
Yeah. And the second run,
you just got 1. And then you have 3 more runs because the next run is going to be the raid.
Right, okay. So
you have
4 times 3 is
3 by 2, 6 plus 1, 7. 7 by 2.
So you got 14 days right there. There's your Tide Seeker build. There's one of your citadels. I mean, you're already halfway there, man. And if you're not hitting tier 5, you really don't give a shit about the damn raid, or you shouldn't, because honestly, FM should be the thing that you're concentrating on.
Now, you guys are calculating 3 weeks of FM into that number, right? About 3 weeks, and then the 4th week is the raid, right?
No, because this time the week is delayed one more week.
Oh, I see. Okay, I apologize. Then, yeah.
That's where we're getting all the extra.
If you notice, what you were saying is right on the normal raid cycle, but this time the rate is confirmed by Tom Rooster already, and is the 15th.
Gotcha, I'm good. I just needed someone to hit me in the head. Thanks.
Hey, I'm happy to hit anybody in the head. I even have a special baseball bat for it.
Oh shit! You've been watching too much Walking Dead.
No. Nope. All right. So so we have a whole lot of extra tokens, and I just want to say they could have, as they've done in the past, add all sorts of shit to cut that day that amount of tokens down. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers! There it is. We got extra shit this time. Be happy.
Yeah, that's fucking phenomenal.
You can't keep on. Yeah, you can't keep on bitching and moaning that Kixeye, is coin hungry, greedy, whatever the thing is, pejorative term that you want to use this time. It's not. They got to make money. Don't get me wrong. They have to. Otherwise, we won't have our little addiction. But damn, they're really not out to try and screw us.
Yeah, you got to look at the whole thing. If there's 29 days, man. I mean, you got roughly a month. So if you're fitting other things or building other things, hell, you can build 4 quick ships that way, or build 2 smart ships, and you're still fitting other things. So yeah, that's a fucking Merry Christmas.
The 29 days, the 29 days is if you're caught up, and that is a caveat.
Yes,
but that's why I said on tier 4 you're still getting a whole bunch of days. What did we say it was? 12 days? No, 14 days? 14 days.
14 days.
2 weeks on tier 2. I mean, tier 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, on tier 5, a minimum of 15. Could be, if you are called TSM, you get more than that. You can get up to 43.
More, yeah.
But you have to be called TSM for doing that. Not everybody here is called that.
I guess. I mean, I don't even want to think about that. That's just going to depress me. What's the next slide, Jeff? Where'd Jeff go? Did I lose him? Is he on mute again? He muted himself. He doesn't like us. He keeps on muting himself so he can. I don't know what he's doing.
What the agenda is? I don't want to skip too far from the agenda, but the Tide Seeker. Mm-hmm. Do any of you really know the purpose of that hole?
Yeah.
Is it for the next? Is it for a next cycle something?
No.
The Tide Seeker was for this cycle because there was a number of players that disliked subs to the point that they were not even doing the raid.
Hate.
So
let's use the proper term. They hate
tried to do in a way to give to us, because at the end they gave us practically the whole. And if you were doing the full TLC, you got 2 of them completely built. Right. And halfway, at least 54, I think, was the rank.
Yeah.
And that's something that they gave. So those that so much hate the subs could have something to do this raid, because it's
And
supposed to go on this raid.
I did my entire raid this time using 2 Tide Seekers and had a freaking ball. I absolutely abhor subs. The Harlock Tide Seeker is a total niche that's, unwarranted and unneeded. Well, I like it a lot, but it's one of those that I just wanted,
Remind me again where you live. Is it Alabama? Louisiana?
Louisiana.
Just want to check.
Wow, am I speaking redneck?
No,
You're
I'm just
speaking
making it.
good old
I'm just
American.
making it
That's what
funny.
Americans used to speak, man.
I'm just making it funny. No, Americans used to speak
George is from
proper
Tennessee.
English. I live in Tennessee. I'm not
I
from
think
Tennessee.
because
Let's make
Americans used to
that
speak
clear.
Indian, like with the Blackfoots and so on, and then came others and took them off and started to talk English.
Jesus.
I resemble
think
that
that first-
remark. My wife's got black feet.
So anyway, that's the Tide Seeker. I'm not even going to touch that shit. Oh my god! So the Tide Seeker was, yes, it has a specific purpose. It's for this cycle. It's also, I'm not sure if they're designing the next Uranium targets for an easier time with the Tide Seeker over the Hellwraith. I don't know yet, but I can see both of them working in the next, target. I think they're becoming far more cognizant of the fact that there's a whole shit ton of chores and we don't like it, and we like autoing stuff. I'm a very vociferous person when it comes to saying how lazy I am when it comes to chores. I just want to get the damn things done and get back to playing the game. So hopefully they're taking that into account, and that's one of the reasons why they combined the, or eventually we'll combine the targets for next during the next.
If they are going to be like raid targets, you're going to be able to do both ways. The target, the only thing is going to be the amount of damage you get at the end. But
yeah,
I guess you're going to be able to do. If you can do with one, you can do with the other one.
I'm going to tell you, I am already sick of 105s. I was sick of 105s on the first damn day of the raid. I'm so tired of them already.
That's why I didn't really bother doing the raid. I was just tired of them.
Are they boring? Are they just boring for you?
Yeah, they're boring. I couldn't be bothered to
To
do
be
it.
honest, the raid I enjoyed the most was that one with those 50 targets. You remember? The one that got.
Oh, I hated that crap. No, I'm not running around all over the damn map trying to dig up.
Because it was one target of each. None was the same.
I like Base Invaders,
fun.
man. Base Invaders was my funnest thing. I like Base Invaders more than any of the other ones. I actually like the very first one of this meta where they actually blew up on you and we did the split blitz. I actually had fun doing that shit. I enjoyed doing the split blitz. Everyone else hated it though, so I might be a little bit nuts.
I enjoyed that one myself, and then again they came around. I'm not one of those tedious game players. I'd rather take the damage.
I'll tell you, driving the 105s. I know I can do it, but it's just such a. I don't like concentrating that long and that hard on something and then having to do it again and again and again. I'd rather. That's why I like the first one, is I could just go, okay, split this shit up, set it on the AI, and then let it die.
Yeah,
finish the damn.
Because I think that the target or the tier 6 is supposed to be a target that makes your raid faster. But man, if you need 50 minutes on each of those targets, and the minimum you need is like 13 targets to get the top 3 tier prices, you are not going to be just there.
Well, I think I got it. I think I got it when I did the video the first day. I think I got it down to, I think it was 7 minutes to do it, and then, TSM waited several days before he happened to mention that, hey, you know what? There's a quick way to do it, and I got it down to just over, I think, 5 minutes to target. But again, it's you got to concentrate, and you got to concentrate several times, and if you want like all the crap, and you're looking at like 100 million points, that's a lot of damn targets, man. That's a lot of damn targets.
Exactly, and this is a game that to me is relaxation. Drink a beer, play the game, watch shit blow up, watch my ships get hurt, and not a freaking chess game. If I want to play chess, I'll play my 18-year-old.
I'm not sure what that means, but we'll let it pass.
I'm gonna, yeah. Well, you know. Yeah.
Next slide. New turkey.
Anyway.
Yeah, the one
we have
that
any more
Turkey
slides?
was talking
We're
about.
done. I think we're done with the slide. Did we have that one last slide? Did we get to it?
The slutty looking girl with eating a turkey leg.
I don't know. I didn't get to see it.
I don't know. That I didn't smell turkey in that picture. Not in my mind, anyway.
I think everybody else saw it, right?
We know it's a tradition in Italy to have fish for Thanksgiving and not turkey.
Oh boy, I would have rather went with the roast beef joke, but you know, we can go with the fish joke, I guess. Oh, erratic spawning. Yeah, we covered that earlier in the show, though, right? Yellow and orange sectors are getting boned, right?
Yeah. This is what you missed, George.
Yes, I see them. I mean, I see her. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
So you're done.
That's
with
what
that?
I meant.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, we're done. Okay. So, anyway.
So please asking your question, what was the color of those eyes?
Color of what?
The color of her eyes.
Flesh?
What color were her eyes? Yes, George. Tito wants to know what color that girl's eyes were.
Brown? We'll go with that.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a
probably right.
Chance. I have a good chance, you know, statistically of being right. So we'll go with that. You fucking bastards. Anyway.
Well, since George gets upset when we run over the hour, is there anything else that anybody else has to say about, you know, this week in Battle Pirates or what's going on or any issues that you may be enduring?
I'm trying to think if anything's come up lately. I mean, I know there was that one guy on the forums that absolutely cried on like every page about getting harassed and hit by a level 15 or something, but anybody got anything? I know that they did on the Battle Pirates page, they came out and said something about the Mega Hull campaign. That did not actually happen this week. I think someone flipped the switch on that one a little bit early, so that's not happening.
Well, that and the glitch with the mega holes where you couldn't attack anything there for a while.
Well, you can hit the first target. Like if you're going out mega hull hunting and you hit your first target, once you get damaged, you can't hit anything else. And a lot of people have sent in tickets and have said, and customer service has said, oh, you know, that's intended, blah, blah. It's not intended. The very first, 20 minutes after the update, I was hunting megabits. I needed megabits, and after I had destroyed some poor bastard, I couldn't engage anything else. I actually sent it up, not via ticket, but via other alternative methods, and they were looking at it since then. I don't know if they've found anything yet. I don't know how many resources they're putting towards it, but they know it's busted. They know that it's not working right, and they're trying to fix it. So y'all don't have to inundate customer service with a shit ton of tickets, especially after you've sent one already. You don't got to send in 20 more.
Okay. David has an interesting question in chat.
Ooh, what did I miss?
How did the Golden Nexus thing work out for everybody? I wasn't involved with it because, I
actually didn't do it. I think I hit like one thing. I mean, what would happen in my world was it was just nonstop. It was a it was a mega train going on in that thing.
Yes.
I think I saw 30 of them in one world, all chained together. That was nuts.
Was it Gimps that had one that was just they had it the whole time or something like that? I think it was. Someone just absolutely annihilated that shit.
The world I was last week, I think was KDE that was holding it, but I think that they were holding by the hair because all the ships were smoking. But, well, they were the ones tied to the Nexus at the end.
Hello.
Hey, Daniel is here.
Oh, look who showed up finally.
Don't even go there with me. I'm really messed up right now.
Someone's drunk. Someone's drunker than Jeff. Holy shit.
Whatever. She's
Wow.
just here because she didn't have to run the slides.
Oh, is
No,
that why?
No,
She got out of running the slides.
No, I threw my back out, and I'm on like 5 different meds, and I feel like I'm on a high now for like freaking ever.
Oh, I'm going to have so much fun in the after show now. This is going to be fun.
I won't stick around. I think I'll leave then. Between Oxycontin and all my other payments that I'm on,
drugs.
I'm on the good stuff, man.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I'm feeling. And don't be picking on me. And God, I got a bone to pick with you after the show.
Me? I did
Yeah.
nothing. I am
You're in
angel.
trouble.
I'm an
You are
angel.
in so much trouble.
I didn't hit anybody. I haven't hit anybody all week. People have been hunting me. And I've been in a bubble like nonstop.
Yeah.
We've been hitting people all week.
Yeah, blame it on Chris. It's Chris's fault, man. It's all him.
Hey, I haven't even been the one hitting.
Sure.
No, I
You
ain't
just said
been
you
doing
hit
the
that.
hitting.
Oh.
So, Chris, are you back into that club, the 600 points club?
Oh no, I'm not there yet because I'm letting everybody else do the smashing because the people we're hitting, most of them only worth like 4 or 5 medals, so I'm not gonna bother to hit them.
Everybody's dumping, and it sucks because you can't go off and hit bases and get a huge amount of gold medals anymore. It's like, what the heck's going on?
You can come
Well,
and
that's
take
what
some
we're
from-
doing. We've
Yeah, you
drained
can
Katie
come and- you can
almost
come and take some of
1,000
mine.
medals by now.
Danielle, you can come
Why?
take some of mine.
Oh, why? So I can fail on your base again? No.
So,
Anyway.
does anybody have anything else before we go to the after show? I mean, Danielle, we spoke about a lot of the issues. We haven't really got into our meds, but
You're an ass, FA. Just so you know. I messaged you. I see how you are.
Hefe promised to stay off of his meds for a while. I mean,
I don't take any meds. But
He's always on meds. It's called liquor.
No, I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything else that we need to cover before we go off show.
I do have one. Has anybody because I've already gotten all my garrison frags for the Citadel. I'm already up at R whatever the hell I can be at.
R5, yeah.
Is anyone else having? Because I've heard a bunch of people complain that the 102s and 109s have not been dropping frags.
They haven't. They haven't.
Not.
I have not gotten a single one.
And no one. So that
They have not dropped one?
No, I just got one. I just finished up mine today, hitting 102s all the time. So I at least ours was working.
You were.
No, the
getting
109s haven't dropped any that I've seen either.
Oh no, 102s. That's what I hit is the 102s.
What are not dropping the 109s? Are you saying what? Huh?
The fragments.
I have 3 Citadel fragments because in the sector I am at the moment it's difficult to get below yellow if I don't push first, and I don't have any problem getting them.
That's weird.
I'm having an.
I think it's spacing that. I think it's the spacing relative to where you are, where your base is relative to other people that spawn. I think it's the issue because
where I am, only 209 and 102 spawns. So if that gives you any.
But it's not
any
just
group out.
it's not the high level spawns. It's any of the spawns because I complained. Okay, go ahead.
It's the only thing that is around because the 3 bases we just spawn that. The other bases are not around. Are in some other spots.
No,
so you will not see a 47, 50, nothing. Just those 3.
Okay. No, because I complained at one point to in chat because I went around and cleared some other people's, green 109s, and I just took out the whole thing, and I'm like, yours respawn and mine don't. And then he came in and cleared out the 65s and the 80s and whatnot that were around me, and then 109s just started popping up everywhere.
Right? Sometimes they just magically pop like that.
Yeah. But I hadn't spawned in 36 hours as far as something in my base. But once the 65 or 80s and 87s were gone, then then like 2 109s popped up next to my base. So yeah, it's tricky. It's shouldn't really be part of the game that you need to get away from people. But if you get away from people, you're going to start spawning what what your base should spawn. And if you're above level, was it 90? You're going to start spawning 109s.
No, 90 is 102s. I think it's over 91 or 92 that you get the other one.
Well, I'm only in 91, and since 90, I've been spawning the 109s. So, I don't know.
George? What's the assessment on what the next FM cycle will be? That we're not done with this one for what? We're not done with this one for at least a little bit, right? Another 4 months at least.
No, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks.
So the FM cycle.
No, the FM cycle
isn't
finish until
the FM
after
cycle.
the next garrison. So not until January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. August or September is when we're going to see a wholehearted, complete, utter change. If they stick to the calendar.
An FM cycle. Okay.
Yeah, if they stick to the calendar, because here's the thing, the stuff that they give us, the information that they give us because we do understand the fact that shit can change, man. It's not, hell, somebody could get hit by a bus tomorrow and he's the only one that knows what's going, you know what I mean? Shit changes, and we're talking about they got stuff planned out fine out that far. It's 9 months out or something.
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen between now and then. So, when a lot of the times when we share information like this, it comes with the caveat that y'all have got to understand shit can change. And I am so tired of. You understand it, and a lot of the panel here understands it. But have you seen the responses sometimes?
Yes.
When stuff changes and people flip them.
Yeah. I mean, and it's already been implemented 6 months in the works, and they just come out of the woodworks like they just woke up, or maybe they signed in after 6 months and they go, "What the fuck is this all about?"
I mean, there was a guy on the forums. Look, there was a guy on the forums that was like, "Hey, I want to put on the what the hell was it, like the Calamity scatter gun on a Tide Seeker, right?" And he's like, "Is that concussive range thing gonna cut the range?" No, dumb fuck. No, it's not a damn friggin' concussive gun.
Well, it's both actually.
No, it does concussive damage. It's not a concussive gun.
Oh.
When you look at weapons, you have to look at the top of the blueprint.
That was the baseball bat.
Damage type and weapon type, and that's what you have to read, and that's what the blueprints work about. But
blueprints
so you get a summary of the gear.
This is what I mean, Tito. That's exactly what I mean. Blueprints are. I'm gonna motherfucker. Really?
All right. God, I'm going to change your picture and I'm going to put the black guy over there. Okay. Before something.
I was actually going to say you made the point. Your blueprints of.
I'm going to end the live broadcast at this point and move into the after show.
So we can bitch along?
No. It's just because I don't think we're providing like broadcasts for everybody that wants to participate. But anybody that would like to join the show, I'll unmute everybody and whatnot. I just wanted to get that in, that I'm not just stopping the broadcast. And I'll put a link out there for anybody else that would like to participate in the after show. All right. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, have a good night, everybody.